Eddie comes on, and it's the second time he's come on in 2 games. It's the second time he's come on in 2 games before the likes of Pepe. He came on before Aubameyang today. It's also the second time in 2 games since this decision, apparently, it's come out in the press anyway, that he has rejected his last contract offer, and it seems quite clear that he's going to leave on a free. I think that makes it makes sense to me that he wouldn't sign a contract. I think it logically makes. But again, and Aaron, maybe because you were the one who I think was passionately surprised. Well, actually, I think we were all passionately surprised, but. I mean, what did you think when he came on? Like, what rationale did you have at all?
None. There was no rationale to bring him on, and I'm still annoyed by that substitution. Because I think I read that before he came on at Old Trafford, he hadn't played a single minute of Premier League football.
Oh, really? Wow.
And then we brought him on at Old Trafford, didn't do anything, and I feel really guilty for having a go at Eddie, because he's an academy player, he's a young player. And all of a sudden, he's being just thrust into these situations where, I don't even think he thinks he probably deserves to be coming on. And then today, what has he done in his career, in his senior career, to show that he is the player that can solve the problems that we were having? He's not the type of player that's going to be able to run in behind. He's not the type of player that's going to be able to hold the ball. The only situation where he has proven that he can be useful is putting away chances, but we're not a team that's creating chances for him to put away.
Does it not end up looking like a masterstroke though if he ends up scoring that goal where he hits the post?
Yeah, it doesn't change the fact that I still think it was a bad substitution. And you mentioned, I think you mentioned this after the United game, Raj, where you said, I wonder if it's contract related, and I was like, no. We can't be prioritizing contract decisions over kind of football or tactical decisions. But I'm almost, fair enough, it happens one game, but to happen 2 games in a row in this situation where he hasn't come on at all for the whole first, 12 games of the season or whatever it's been, it almost makes me think, hang on a sec, maybe there is something there with the contract and the whole kind of player evaluation side of things, where they're trying to force something that might not need to be forced. Because again, there's no reason why. Fair enough that the Pepe situation is weird enough as it is, but there's no reason why you don't bring Aubameyang on before Eddie. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
it was weird. Go on.
Go on. Anyway.
No. Just to kind of follow on. It was really, really weird. It was weird when he came on against United. It was even more weird tonight, like you said, with Aubameyang on the bench. It was like. Because it was Martinelli who got injured and had to come off. It was like obviously Eddie played down that left hand side. I don't think I've ever seen him play there before, and it was like Arteta was trying to. I don't know if it's one of these ones where he's just trying to prove a point about Aubameyang. I'm not sure. By bringing Eddie on, it's almost like sending him a message to say, yeah, look, you might be our captain, you might be our highest earner, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to bring you on, or some bullshit like that. I don't know, but it's just really, really questionable now that decision. Like Aaron said, you mentioned the contract. You proposed the idea of it being around the contract, and I was with Aaron. I was just like, it can't be, surely not. He just must have really been impressing in training, and that may still be the case. That may still be the case, but it just I don't know, like we've had enough of this stuff, like as Arsenal fans the last few years, like the Ozil thing and like Guendouzi and fucking Mustafi and all these other players, all these players. I mean, I'm probably picking on Mustafi there, but like there's been so many players where the contract situation has been like discussed and caused so many, like just so much, what's the word I'm looking for? Just,
noise
problems for us. Just squad unrest is probably the time I'm looking for. And like it feels like now maybe this is another one, and I don't know if it's like a Mikel Arteta thing where he's really just trying to lay down the law for whatever reason against Aubameyang, or maybe I'm looking into it too much. But look, I mean, we've got to talk about the chance he missed as well, right?
Yeah, exactly. I guess there's a thing. You could probably turn around and say, bring on Eddie. I think we all agree it's baffling to bring on Eddie. Whatever the case, it's weird. We can only say that. It's bizarre if it's to do with the contract. Technically, it's possible that this is going to get up his tribunal valuation. In theory, that's possible, but that's still, I think, really left field. It's possible that Arteta probably looks at it and thinks, "Oh, look, he's going to want to put himself in the shop window, so he's going to be motivated to score, right?"
But based on what? Based on like what? When has he ever scored goals? He's not in the team because, unfortunately for him, he's just not good enough. And he's shown that consistently, unfortunately, that he is nowhere near the level that we need him to be. In a situation, in a team which is desperate for a quality striker to step up and take that chance, he unfortunately hasn't been able to take it. So why, literally, in the last 2 games, we have suddenly decided he is the guy to come on and change things?
I wonder if some of it is just to do with Aubameyang's form, and he's going, well, like, he needs he needs to give himself options, Arteta, doesn't he? If he's going to try and play without Auba, even in the short term, he's got to try something. But I'm just as baffled as you guys overall. I guess we did bring on Auba, and 95th minute, it's virtually the last kick. He gets a really nice chance, doesn't he, Bryce? Yeah. I mean, what? I mean, like, what do you think?
Both of them, right? Like, if we talk about both of them together, we have a go about, like, is it Eddie, is it Auba? But actually, both of them miss really, really good chances to score goals.
Yeah, I mean, Miles, is it as simple as, should Auba score that goal?
Oh yeah, I mean, like, it should be bread and butter for him. Like, I don't. There's nothing you can say. There's nothing you can say to defend him, basically, for that miss. It doesn't matter if he's in bad form, like that. I don't like using the whole "you're earning this much, therefore you should be doing what you should be doing." But like, you're
just say it anyway. Say it.
Yeah, no, I mean, you're captain of Arsenal Football Club. Whether that means anything anymore or not, I don't know. But ultimately, you are the captain. You're our main striker, as everyone keeps saying. You didn't start the game. You've been missing chances. You missed the Newcastle chance. You've been missing penalties all season. You've been pretty poor. Here's your opportunity to just go and make yourself a sort of a hero, because it gets us an equaliser in the game that we still should be winning. But, a last-minute equaliser is a last-minute equaliser, like kind of like what Lacazette did against Palace. And he's got, like, it's not a chance that's come at him at a funny angle, or he's got to adjust his body, or it's a volley or whatever. Like, there's no one near him. He's got plenty of time to watch it come. Like, Eddie does really well, actually, on the left-hand side, because he turns and he attacks, and he carries the ball, plays a good ball, and Gabriel dummies it. And he's got all that time from when Eddie passes it to decide what he's going to do, whether he goes with his left and tries to bend it in, like, far post, or hits it with his right, whether he goes with power, whether he side foots it, and he just fluffs it completely. Like, he's not even close. Like, he's a few yards wide of the far post. And, like, I get it when strikers are not in form. A lot of the time they'll miss chances in games, and I guess that's why he's been taken out of the team. But at the same time, if you've been brought on for the sole reason of, if a chance lands for you, you need to take it in a game that we're 2-1 down in, or we were by that point. Like, you can't defend him. You just can't defend him. I don't know what's going on with him. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just a form thing, but just a shocking, like, 2 shocking misses. Like, the Eddie one was bad. That one was really, really bad. Yeah.
Then Arteta, do you think Arteta can turn around and say, well, you can all have a go at me for not playing progressive. You can have a go at me for, how we played in the first half, whatever. But I've made substitutions. We created chances towards the end, and my strikers really should score those goals. It's not my fault.
No, I don't think you can say that.
No.
I think, fair enough, if we're playing Man City away and we miss 2 chances in a really tight game, you can say, okay, fine. We had 2 really good chances. If we'd taken those, it would have been a different game. But those were like literally the probably only 2 chances where that we created where we had a decent chance. I know that Odegaard had a half chance, but we just aren't creating anywhere near enough chances of high quality. We're creating a few half chances here and there, but just systematically, it looks like the midfield and the attack just aren't clicking again. And we had this brief period where I thought we were okay. Even at Old Trafford, I thought we created enough to make it work. But today it was just awful. I thought, everyone on the pitch pretty much except the back four were just really, really bad at progressing the ball forward and creating chances. And that's on the manager. He needs to pick a team and coach them to say, this is how you guys should work together to create chances as a team. And we're not doing that.
But I agree with that, Aaron. And I think we started talking about this on WhatsApp. While I agree with you, I still don't think we should have lost today. I still don't think it was a game 1-0 up with how long? I don't know when we conceded the first goal, like 20 minutes to go or 10 minutes to go, something like that. 1-0 up, 1-0 up with not very long to go. And even at 1-1, the Eddie chance falls. And that is a sitter for me. There's no that's an absolute sitter. And then, okay, that doesn't go away. Then we go and concede. And then 2-1 down, another absolute sitter. And our world class, he's not world class anymore, but our best striker, number one striker, fluffs his lines as badly as that. Like, I just don't, however badly we played, there was enough chance, because Everton weren't particularly great either. I didn't think Everton particularly. They didn't have much of the ball. I think we had most of the ball. I haven't seen the stats, but I'm assuming we did from watching the game. And yeah, like there were we better kind of, I don't know. I just don't think that for all the criticism that Arteta deserves off the back of that performance, and he does, and there are questions to be asked, I still think the players on the pitch could have easily changed the result, where we could have just snatched a draw at the end, or snatched a draw at the very least.
Yeah, I think maybe snatching a draw, but ultimately, if we had scored 3 goals from those 3 chances, that is us being really, really clinical. And just generally in football, it very rarely happens that teams only create 3 chances and take all 3 of them.
No, I agree with that. But then there were Ødegaard he had 2, one where it came onto his right foot and he cut inside on his left and it got blocked, and another one where he hit it on his left and it was blocked as well. Like, they're probably
I think it's enough. I think
it's not enough. It's not enough. But I agree, it's not enough, right? This game should have been us dominating possession and creating 20 odd chances, and 7 or 8 of them being on target, with Pickford being kept busy, and all of that. Like, that's what it should have been, based on the league table, based on the quality of our squad versus them, and all of that, and the predicament that they've been in for the last 7 or 8 games. The game didn't transpire that way, but then that's at that point when those chances, at least one of those, if not both. I can't even excuse either of the misses. And I think just based on those 2 absolutely golden chances, they weren't half chances. One was a point blank header where he's got like a couple of, like, he's got the entire time the ball's in flight, and Ketty I'm talking about, to watch the ball come over. I think he must give Lacazette a shout to leave it, because Lacazette was about to jump and then he stops. So he's obviously made the decision that he's going to go for it, and he just completely screws it up. I don't know. Like, I know we could talk about this to death, right? But like, both chances and the Aubameyang one, I just feel like there's no excusing those misses. So it could have been Arteta in charge. It could have been Pep Guardiola. It could have been Arsene Wenger. It could have been any legendary manager. Like, if they're the players that you've got at your disposal and they're missing those sorts of chances, when you are opening up the defense, like when you are getting a player like Saka on the ball and he's putting a quality delivery like that, when you are getting Aubameyang into space to hit a shot across the keeper and just put it in the corner, and they're not doing it, I don't think that falls on the manager personally. I think overall the performance does, but I think when you're missing those sorts of chances, that just falls on the players and the individual. Fine. And I think that's when it comes back to the quality of the players, like you've been saying, and Nketiah is just not good enough. So, like, you look at yesterday, right? Not yesterday, Saturday, Liverpool, 0-0, they bring on Origi, right? And a lot of Liverpool fans, like, I've got a few Liverpool mates, I don't know if your Liverpool mates are the same, but they don't rate Origi. They completely, like, not rinse him, but they take the mickey out of him as being a pretty substandard player. But Origi comes on, and with a much harder finish, or a harder chance. It's not even a chance, really, because he's back to goal. I don't know if you guys have seen the Liverpool winner from the other night. Back to goal, and he basically creates a goal out of what is a half chance when he receives the ball. And I think that's partly the difference, where we're bringing on someone like Eddie and expecting him to do a lot, and they're bringing on a guy who scored in the Champions League final, for example, and he's a regular for Belgium, international footballer, and he doesn't make their first team because they've got such good players besides him. So that's where maybe, go on.
No, I think I agree. I think we've, based on the quality of chances that we did have, even though we had very few, we should have taken more than we did. However, I almost think actually that would have papered over some cracks.
Oh yeah,
and
absolutely. Can't disagree
the
with that.
performance itself was, in my opinion, atrocious.
It was.
And if we had come away from that, there's a situation that we take those two chances and we even win the game. And even then, I would say actually maybe we have. I mean, it's almost like glass half empty, half full type situation with our season, which is okay. You look at it from the fact that you say, okay, we're in and around the race for top four. We still are, and therefore that's really good. Or you look at it and say, actually, like the games and the points that we have got, they've been in situations, and most largely in situations where we have, taken the 2 out of the 3 chances that we've created and come away with the 3 points. And I don't know what the right answer is and how to assess this team, but you can't escape from the fact that a lot of our points have come from situations like you described, Miles, where we create 2 good chances, we score those 2 chances, we don't do anything else, and we come away with the 3 points. It's very rare that we deserve to win games nowadays, purely on the basis of performance, because we're just not performing at that level. I said this last week. I said, look, I thought we'd win, but I thought we won't deserve to win. That we're not good enough to kind of dominate teams. But today we didn't dominate, but we also lost the game, and that's a bigger concern.